Hello guys and welcome back to another game. Sorry if I'm sounding a little bit weird, but I played the other night, so hopefully my voice will hold out for this. It should be alright, I'm thinking. Anyway, we're back on Arabia with two of my favourite players at the moment. If you don't know who TheViper is by now, I don't know if you're even really playing the Conquerors or if you're just playing a different game. Because at the moment, this guy's plastered absolutely everywhere. He's been everywhere for years, and there's no reason at all that you shouldn't know the name, and you shouldn't be watching him if you're trying to improve. Because if you're trying to improve your gameplay at the moment, this is probably one of the guys to be watching. That's his opponent for this game as well, MBL. Just as good. MBL has absolutely been flogging it recently. Both of them doing a lot of streaming at the moment as well. I'll put links to both their streams in the description, so if you haven't been there before, definitely go check it out, even though I know pretty much everyone knows who TheViper is now, but still, MBL just as good as well. Make sure to check him out, always good to start watching. So, let's have a look at what we've got. In the red, playing as the Huns, we have Tyrants, TheViper. Already given both these players an introduction, so I'm not going to linger on it too much. In the green, also playing as the Huns yet again, we have MBL. Pretty much we've got the two best Norway players here. I don't think anyone's really going to debate about that at the moment. So as far as it goes, Norway being a very, very strong area to play at the moment. So I guess if you're looking for a holiday to meet some AOC greats, Norway's the place to be. I also heard they had this, I think it's the most expensive McDonald's in the world, so I don't know, I'll have to ask one of them for confirmations on that, but we shall see. Anyway, map is Arabia, of course. Everyone knows I'm just the biggest fan of this map, this matchup, and I know people hate watching it a bit, so we'll try and break it up in the next few games, get some more interesting civs and things going on in there. So, let's have a look at some maps nice and quick, then we can talk a little bit about Huns, and then just move into some predictions of what we're going to see, and then follow the game out, and just see exactly what they really want to do. So both players going to go for a pretty standard build, of course, being Arabia. MBL having a little bit of a crater towards the side of his base. Nothing too serious towards the left side, but at the front he does have a hill as well, so it is going to make defending a little bit of an issue. Of course, Viper coming in, going to be able to sit on these hills, especially behind this lumber area here, and deny this one as best as possible. Looking around, looks like MBL only has one really decent lumber as well. Moving to this side over here, not somewhere I'd want to put a lumber camp down, but at the same time, if he's forced off here, it's pretty much the situation you can get. Any kind of tower that comes up around this area here will really be detrimental to see MBL's economy start to fall apart. Because pushing him down over here, he's going to have probably a lumber camp around here, here, maybe even in the back. If he goes for that one there, it's quite far away from the town center, and he could potentially have a lot of issues with it. So we'll see exactly what Viper does decide to do. Wouldn't be surprised to see him push in on this one here, though. Does have gold in the back as well on a hill, so that's going to hurt his little bit of gold income, but at the same time, not a too big a deal. But again, same issue with TheViper sits up here. Firing down is going to be really hard to clear out of this area. For the side, he's got some stone here as well. Stone not that important in a Hun war, just because you're not generally going for castles, but we'll see exactly what he does decide to do, because in the last game we did see some amazing Tarkin play, so Tarkin's always really, really good. Apart from that, looking pretty open, going to have a hard wall off. As for TheViper, he's got a lumber camp in the back. He hasn't split. He could split to the front here if he did want to. It's not too bad from the TC, so I'd say Viper's definitely got a little bit of a better map in that kind of aspect. Does have a hill at the back though, so can get pushed off this lumber here as well, so going to have to be careful with that. Does have a forward gold though, so going to have to really careful actually he doesn't get pushed off this one, especially thanks to this little hill here, because if MBL can sit some skirmishers and archers up on here, they will be a little bit of a nuisance to get rid of, and Viper will be throwing units at them, not getting the best cost-effective trade, which in a game of this kind of caliber, cost-effective trades are really what's going to set them apart. Already got the barracks down for Viper, so looking to get nice and aggressive and a good timing as well. There we go, and down goes the stable, so going to be in a good place to do that. We've got horse collar and double bit going down for both players as well, trying to get as many eco upgrades as they can at the moment. And looks like the stable, yes, going down for MBL as well. Looks like we are going to see a standard scout harass out of both players. Huns, really good civ overall. You do have options for a lot of different heavy combinations. Of course, you've got the cavalry, so knights, scouts, things like that. Then you can go into archers, you get crossbows, you get cavalry archers out as well. Really strong combination, access to your siege rams, so really they can have a lot going on. Really the only thing you've got to be careful with is if you get stuck in defending, because if you get stuck in defending with skirmishes, you just don't have the movement ability to really be able to push out with them and to defend an entire base, and that's probably the thing you've got to look out for more than anything. Looks like MBL getting some spears out, so he is looking to get aggressive with these guys. Again, spears really hard to defend with against scouts just because they move so quickly, but at the same time really good for being aggressive just because scouts actually have to come in and deal with them. If you're playing an aggressive gameplay and your opponent actually has to move to counter you, it means if he's only got scouts on the field, really all he can do to try and deal with these spears is either pull villagers or try and deal with them with scouts. Either way, they're pretty effective at dealing with that economy, or at least thinning down the army numbers. So really gonna have to see how this one plays out. And really good move here by the Viper, putting the mining camp on that little hill there. So not only is he in a good position here, so he's going to be able to get great saturation, but he's actually going to deny the hill for any archers or units to try and use while defending, or while attacking, and he's defending anyway. Villager trying to push off the spears now. Gonna have a little bit of an issue with those ones. Scout being brought in as well. More scouts coming in. Viper's one spear enough to push these scouts away, so it looks like he will be in an okay spot now, and did lose a spear there. None of the villagers have been, well, have really taken any damage yet, so Viper's still in a good spot. However, he has denied the mining camp quite a bit. Moving in with his scouts though, so like I said, these spears are a lot more effectively to be used in the just attacking now, just because Viper's actually forced to move in with his scouts and actually deal with them. Looks like we do have, yeah, MBL scouts coming in. The double archery range drop coming down from Viper as well at minute 13.5. So going to be in a good spot here to make a transition as well. Slowly moving villagers onto gold. Going to be in a good spot to really be able to start to carry this one out quite heavily. We don't see any archery ranges coming down for MBL yet. Doesn't look like he's fording with anything. So he will be behind in the transition a little bit here. That says he has got some good harass in thus far. So he's going to be up terms a little bit in economy. 39 population for both players. MBL got a couple more idols at the moment though. Military units though pretty much dead even at the moment, and it looks like we do have those spears getting taken out quite quickly. More scouts moving across the map, and still no archery ranges getting dropped down for MBL. First archery range about to finish up with Viper, second one on the way. Looking like MBL is going to be in a little bit of a back foot for the rest of this game here for the moment, just because he's going to be behind in archer numbers. And we're going to see archers or skirmishers. Looks like he's going to be going into full archers. Does have the gold saturation there to actually be able to constantly produce those archers as well. Going to be in a good spot. Wouldn't be surprised to see a blacksmith get dropped down sometime soon, just because Viper does have the wood income for it, and if he does want to go for fletching, it will put him at a really good advantage, especially dealing with all the spears that just MBL's creating at the moment. MBL really committing into the spears, and there's a blacksmith getting dropped down. Anything extra from MBL happening back here? Looks like he's just focusing on eco as much as possible. Population wise, we're at 44 for Viper, 41 for MBL. Very, very close overall, and that blacksmith going to come up quite easily. Spears getting pushed back across the map, and looks like Viper's going to be in a little bit of a position here where he's actually going to be able to push out, try and get some harassment back on MBL, especially once he gets these archers out, sitting about here. In fact, that's probably actually not close enough without all your upgrades, but either way, sitting in here, if he can get into this area, he's going to be able to do some great harass, and there's fletching on the way as well. Double archer range production is happening. Got the second gold camp down as well. So going for maximum efficiency here on the eco. Very Viper to go for this. That said, we do see MBL sneaking around the back here. Potentially going to get into the lumber line. There is a spear ready, but he is actually moved out of position now. Might potentially be able to come in here, get some good villager harass. Don't think he's going to be able to pick a villager, but still all the villagers have been pulled to try and deal with this one. A little bit of a skirmish going down here on the front. Of course, archers versus spears. We know exactly how that's going to end, especially the fact they've already got fletching on them. And look at this, Viper pushing out across the map. A lot of units out in the field at the moment. 50 population of 48, so not a huge difference overall, but still, Viper having a small score lead about of 100 points at the moment, which in Feudal Age could be much, much worse, but at the same time, still looking good for MBL. So going to try and beat through this palisade here. We do have Town Watch going down for MBL. Archer range is only just getting thrown down now as well, so slowly going to be able to make that archer transition. Looks like we are going to see it be a little bit stalematey. We can see the stone wall getting plugged down as well, so we'll be able to defend his wood line quite easily with that. Kind of surprised we're not seeing these scouts try and get in and get a bit more harass. That said though, Viper does have some spears about, so it will be hard for those scouts to just duck in and get some kills without really losing too much of themselves. And it looks like we've got down to 40. Wheelbarrow on the way for Viper as well. Let's speed things up a little just because it is starting to look a little stalematey to me. And there we go, the aggressive tower is coming up, so going to deny this lumber over here. We'll force him either out to here or here. This is probably going to be a more dangerous option at the moment, mainly due to the fact he can't get a town center or anything down over there, so the villagers will be completely exposed unless he decides to throw a tower up. My question is, at the moment, ooh, we got the villager pick. He got a second villager pick. He's going to get the third. No, we do have skirmishers out for MBL though, so going to be able to do a really good job pushing these archers back. Only thing is, if you can micro these archers to kill off these spears, those scouts will just make such short work. My question is right now, can MBL see this tower going up? He can see it going up, but he just can't do anything about it right now. Viper doing a really good job keeping the pressure on, keeping this tower safe, but we can see a little bit of harass going down over here. Viper looks like he was going for stone, but the scouts at MBL are going to get in there. We'll be able to deal with that spear extremely easily, and now looking like this, he's going to get in on top of the lumber and really do some damage. How are we looking on this tower? Currently about halfway made, and it needs to deal with those spears before they get in on top of the scouts. Scouts at the moment taking a lot of hits from the spears. That's a lot of damage overall there. Looking in Viper's woodline though, have we seen any villager kills? There's 1, 2, so he's getting even here. Good job from MBL, really good harass actually, only lost 1 scout in the process. That's actually really worth overall. Has got bloodlines on those boys as well, so looking really strong. The tower is up as well, so he has denied the woodline, and yes, there we go. MBL forced over onto this scattered wood over here. Not going to be in the best place for wood income for him for a while. Really needs to get up to Castle Age, throw a town center, or at least a tower and a lumber camp down over here. On that one though, will need to actually take stone before he can do that too. Has already put up the defensive tower, so really it looks like MBL in a pretty good spot. That said, Viper has been taken completely off wood himself and had to be forced over to the other wood over here. Like I said, I was expecting a split a little bit earlier on, but if you don't need it, you don't need it. A couple of isles from Viper at the moment as well, so really MBL still in the game for sure. Viper up by a couple of 100 points, but still not really much in the grand scheme of thing. And how are we looking? That eco over here just looking so horrendous. I feel so bad for MBL having to take this at the moment. It's just not a good way to go. He's getting the lumber camp up on the back as well, so at least going to be in a little bit of a good situation there. And looks like going for the aggressive play over here as well. Trying to take out a couple of skirmishes. The Spear's doing a really good job at pushing these scouts back though. And Viper's starting to look a little bit low on military count up on the front here. However, it does have quite a few units he can bring if he does want to. So many archers out in play. And actually going down for a third range as well. Surprised that we're not seeing just... oh, man. In fact, really surprised I'm seeing a third archery go down already. It looks like Viper is going to commit to this, get as many crossbows as he can out on the field, and really just try and take his military advantage home as hard as he can, and from there just try and deny MBL across most of the map. How have we got here? Scout cavalry moving in. Looks like he did lose 1 archer to that, and MBL's skirmishers moving out across the map as well, leaving his base quite undefended, but if you can put the pressure on, Viper will be forced to return home anyway, and go in through there. So let's speed things along again. I'm feeling the stalemate going on. And let's have a look at eco real quick. Looking at the breakdown, we've got the back wood of lumber still going on for Viper, the front lumber as well. From there, he's got quite a few farms on the play, many villagers on gold, of course, trying to support all those archer rangers, going for a 4th, and it looks like we do have MBL moving in right now. Archer's not going to be so good up against these skirmishers right now, but at the same time, there are just so many archers out in play. Viper's going to be able to deal with this one. MBL knows it, and he looks like he's just trying to deny that archery range now. Castle Age on the way for Viper. And overall, doesn't look like he's spread himself too thin eco-wise as well. Really good base layout. It's looking quite smart. Starting to wall off across the frontier with all these rangers. And, man, he's going to have such a high military pop as soon as he hits Castle Age. Those crossbows are going to be absolutely dangerous. As for MBL, look at the farms. Absolutely excellent. Lumber, a little bit of a different story, but it's basically because he's been forced to it. We do have the third archery finally going down for MBL as well. Going to be able to start to catch up on Viper's military pop. Both players on their way up to Castle Age, and both going for padded archer armor as well. As for gold, looking good as well. Hasn't got the second camp down, but still overall quite good. Viper having 35 military units out in the field though to MBL's 22. Huge difference there, mostly seen in the pop as well, 77 to 65. Viper doing a really good job at staying in control of this game thus far. Not saying that MBL can't take it back. He's definitely just in the right situation to do it. It's a matter of finding the way to do it that's going to actually kind of see towards it. Wouldn't be surprised if we see more harass come up in the back here, but it looks like quite a few units going down now for MBL. Viper is fighting uphill, but it looks like he just doesn't care at the moment. It's just so many archers out in play. MBL just cannot deal with it. How are we doing over here? Same kind of deal. And it looks like Scout's going to move around. Hopefully get some harass in the back again. That said, Viper is ready for the Scouts there. Does have quite a few units out in play. Viper moving out across the map right now with a hell of a lot of archers just towards Castle Age as well. So we will see Bodkin. We will see Crossbow get dropped as well. So at the moment, Viper in a very commanding position. That said, only a small difference in score at the moment, but overall, the military difference is just so big. That said, we do see MBL going straight for the direct counter units, so he is going straight for those skirmishers. Going to be able to deal with archers quite effectively, but in the bulk they are at the moment, Viper definitely still has an advantage. MBL going to hit Castle Age quite soon, but we've got Bowsaw, Bodkin, and Crossbow all going down for Viper as well. Looks like we are about to see this fight go down, and a couple of units getting lost here to Viper. Looks like he didn't patrol in. And ooh, this is some really good trades here for MBL. Really good trades, actually. Ooh, good split. And losing some units. MBL really trying to micro this one as best he can. Going for damage. There's Crossbow. It's done. Now these skirmishers just can't really hold up against it. Both of them have the +1 armor as well. But Viper just a little bit ahead tech-wise. We do have Elite Skirmisher going down for MBL. Bodkin Arrow as well. So going directly for the counter units at the moment. Going to be able to play quite effectively with them. But at the same time, Skirmisher's just so hard to get aggressive with. Elite Skirmisher's a little bit of a different story. But still, got to be careful that you don't get outplayed with them and outranked. We do have Viper starting that Cavalry Archer transition as well. Does have Bloodlines on those guys. So in a really good place to actually get in, do some damage, do some quick harass, and then get out of there. Really good place to be at. Leather archer armor going down for both players as well. Just got to hope that MBL has these skirmishers in the right positions. If he does, he'll be able to counter the cavalry archers quite well. However, if he is forced to actually run around after them, the cavalry archers no doubt will start ripping apart the eco very, very quickly. Looks like he will have to find a way here to defend his lumber line. Wouldn't be surprised if we do see this get walled off later on, but still, looks like the skirmishers are going to be enough to push these guys back across the map, and hopefully going to be able to see some damage. The scouts looking like they are trying to come back in, get some more harass. Cavalry archers to the rescue quite quickly though, and looks like that has been prevented. Second town center is down for Viper. Wouldn't be surprised to see him drop a third anytime soon. And what are we seeing? University getting dropped for MBL. Ballistics on the way already for Viper. Interesting one. We do have the University coming up for MBL as well. However, Viper just a little bit quicker off the bat with that one. No second town center for MBL, so Viper is going to be able to start pulling the distance right now and really get in there for that eco. However, that said, it looks like MBL is moving out. Going to throw a town center up over here. Or no, just a lumber camp at the moment. Doesn't have the stone for it. Really, really interesting actually. What are we seeing come up? Siege Workshop on the front, so going to go for some damage. Looks like we are seeing a small fight over here. Those scouts from MBL trying to get some harass. The cavalry archers, though, dealing with it just way too effectively at the moment. And the skirmishers are moving out for MBL as well. Looks like he is going to try and get in there and do some damage. Where did all those archers or crossbows of Viper go? There they are. Looks like they're going to sneak around if they can get onto this lumber camp here. MBL going to be in a whole world of trouble. What are we seeing down over here? Cavalry archers moving up into position. Not going to be able to deal with the skirmishers too effectively, because he is actually going to have to defend his gold mines here. So at the same time, going to be able to deal with it, but you really don't want to be fighting these kind of units together at the moment. Ballistics going down for MBL. Going to be able to deal with the cavalry archers quite well. Getting a lot of free shots in here. That said, the Mangonel is out. Got to be careful with those skirmishers. If Viper gets a good hit there, it could be goodbye to all of them. And it looks like the village is actually being pulled off gold as well to actually try and get in there and do some harass. A knight out for Viper as well. As we know, knights just absolutely destroy skirmishers. They get on top of them way too quickly. They have a huge haste HP to the starter and a huge pierce armor, so really they're going to be in quite a good spot to just do some damage. Like the knight just soaking this up at the moment. Naturally will get killed off just by the sheer mass, but at the same time in a good place overall. Crossbows versus skirmishers again, kind of not what you want to be doing, but in this kind of matchup, this kind of unit numbers, you're going to be pretty alright overall. Viper scale barding on the way as well, so it looks like he will be doing a little bit more of a transition there into some knights, trying to get some more units out in play. Have we seen a third town center at all? No third town center from Viper yet. Oh, and it looks like we do have more skirmishers moving in here, so Viper actually going to retreat out of this one. Of course, not worth taking the fight where he doesn't need it, but there's a town center going down. We have seen it go ahead, and extra archery range getting thrown down as well. Looks like we are starting to see a cavalry archer transition out of MBL as well, so it looks like we are going to be in a standard kind of Hun war here. Just cavalry archer versus cavalry archer. A couple of mangonels out nice and early. Those knights, of course, slowly going to get taken out. Mangonel looks like it is going in for the kills as well. Hopefully going to be able to take out a couple of skirmishes at a time. But at the end of the day, really not too much it can do on its own. Villagers, of course, still over here trying to take more stone. Wouldn't be surprised to see any kind of castle drops happening later in the game. But still, we do have the second town center down for Viper, so really he's quite a commanding point right now as far as eco goes. The second town center coming up for MBL right now though, so going to get a little bit more even in that term. As far as it goes, 99 pop to 90 at the moment, 62 villagers for Viper, 54 for MBL, and then from there as well, military is dead even at the moment. That said, Viper probably having the more deadly force out in play, but the skirmishers, of course, just going to be able to soak up that arrow fire. As long as the mangonels don't get in there and do too much damage, we're in a really good place. This mangonel really needs to be pulled forward and deal with these skirmishes, especially downhill at the moment. If he can get a good hit here, and it looks like that's what he's going to do, going to take out quite a few skirmishes there very, very easily. And there we go. Looks like Viper is clear to move up now. There's more skirmishes moving in behind. A couple of knights going to be able to clean this up fairly quickly. Extra town center going down from Viper, noticing he is low on gold there. So moving up here, securing a new gold location, really going to keep his eco under check for this, as pretty much just the Viper does. Moving around, what do we got? So we've got cavalry archers going to try and get in, do some eco damage. If they can sit under this tower, really good spot. That said, there are enough cavalry archers from MBL now to actually be able to push them away. So just got to be careful of that one. Crossbows looking for an extra way into the base. Wouldn't be surprised to see him try and take down this palisade over here. And what are we looking at? Good play again from MBL, still managing to take down quite a few of these knights actually with the skirmishes. I'm very surprised they've been fighting this long. If Viper just saved up a couple of the knights, it would have been a different story, but they're trickling in. So as far as it goes, really good situation right now for MBL to actually be able to deal with these guys. Mangonel still moving in though, did get a kill there, did get a little bit of splash damage. And it was some good micro as well, really going to deny this guy. And that knight going to be on the way out. Hopefully they'll find a way to be able to deal with this mangonel, but at the moment, it's definitely just killing people with rocks. Rocks fall, everybody dies. There we go, crossbows have moved in as well. If they get under this tower, we will see a huge economy issue for MBL, and that's going to be how he's going to get his gold income in. There we go, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Where are we at? 7. Nearly got 8. That's a lot of villager trade there. At the moment, we can see it was quite close in terms of villagers. That said, Viper was out in the front. But we're 54 to 71 now. Viper in a really good place. Probably not the best location to be fighting here under the tower up against the cavalry archers. But it looks like he's just trying to get the damage in as much as he can. MBL looks like he is pushing here on the front, trying to get some damage. It looks like he did snag quite a few villagers here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Getting my forensics out and seeing what's going on. But that's a really good haul there for MBL. And MBL actually taking the score lead at the moment. Really good play by him getting back in here. Did take out all the crossbows in his base as well. Viper at the moment, military 19. MBL on 30. So he is starting to take this one back. Hopefully he can get in there. The pop difference though, very, very minuscule. The villager difference, quite a big one still. So Viper in a good place here to be able to replenish his army, get in there and do the damage. But really, he's just got to be careful that he doesn't lose this gold over here. If this gold dose goes down, going to be in a very bad place. What's Viper doing? Is he moving out to the gold over here? Could be what he's doing, but again, we're looking like we're at quite a stalemate area, so speeding things along. It looks like MBL though is gearing up to push in on Viper again. Hopefully going to be able to get in here, get a couple extra villager snags, because if he can do that, he's going to be putting himself back on top of the scoreboard again. Viper taking it back, but at the same time, MBL doing some really, really good trades here, like absolutely fantastic trades. What are we saying? Oh, Scorpion from Viper. Was that a misclick? Or I feel like it was a misclick, but you never know. And here we go. It looks like we do see the cavalry archers starting to engage again. Another stable getting thrown down from Viper. Might be seeing a little bit more of a knight transition from him if he wants to go for it. And from here... oh, it's a good trade thus far. The skirmishers are soaking up a lot of damage there. If the mangonel can get in and get a good hit on top of these cavalry archers, it will definitely be good for evening things up. But at the same time, this is a close one. The skirmish is just soaking up so much damage. It looks like MBL will be forced to retreat out of here. But are we going to see a good hit? Oh, great split there by MBL, making sure none of those units got hit. And, man, that's just really impressive. Chain barding on the way as well. So we are going to see a couple of knights coming out for Viper as well. This means he will be able to deal with the skirmishers a lot more effectively. Probably the biggest issue you're going to see with skirmishers is the fact that, like, 2 or 3 knights, if they can get on top of the entire clump, really going to take him out very, very quickly and completely disrupt the entire force. Because if they're sitting down here and 1 or 2 knights spring in, that's a very, very good game for them. What are we seeing from Viper? Anything exciting going on? Chain barding still. We do have husbandry and gold mining going down at the moment for MBL. Gold mining quite late for research of that kind of caliber at the moment. We'll give him that one, but at the same time, he's been standing his own ground, so he didn't exactly need it. We're literally looking at like a difference of about 20 points now in the end, and this one actually might even catch him up even further. Yeah, so we're looking at like 20 points, 100 points kind of difference at the moment. Fluctuating, but at the same time, still quite good. It looks like we do have cavalry archers sneaking around the side now for Viper. If he can get on top of this wood line behind it here, do some damage in there, it will put him in a good spot. MBL though does have the units to actually be able to defend this one quite quickly, and it looks like he could potentially lose this. Oh, that's a really good hit with the mangonel there. Did lose it, but at the same time took out quite a few units, got a lot of splash damage on there. In fact, a lot of splash damage. Look at how many low health units we have in there. Viper going to be able to take them out very, very quickly. And how are we looking behind this wood line? Looks like he hasn't noticed yet. Oh, really good notice there by MBL. That is phenomenal. Didn't lose a unit there. Will deny some of this eco for a minute, but at the same time, in a really good spot there. He didn't lose any units. More archery ranges getting thrown down as well. Looks like we might be seeing this one actually go into Imperial Age anytime soon. MBL just about ready to upgrade. Viper still quite behind in terms of food and resource in the bank, but this is such a close game right now. I don't even know how to call it. Viper, though, 131 pop, 102 villages compared to the 75 of MBL. There is a huge difference there overall. MBL just going to really start falling behind in terms of economy. A forward siege workshop going down for Viper as well. Really good overall, and it looks like we do have MBL running those cavalry archers out of town, not taking any villages down here. Really good and smart play by MBL at the moment. Viper just having so many cavalry archers out in the field, even though the units are so close. Heavy plow, elite skirmisher going down. Looks like Viper will be padding out his army with some skirmishers there. Extra stables going down as well. A couple of extra knights being thrown in. Viper looks like he's going for the big army comp at the moment. Might not be going for Imperial Age so much, as he just wants to try and get this one over and done with. A couple of skirmishers just going to get taken out here nice and easy, and Viper might be trying to go for the kill right now. Wouldn't be surprised if we do see MBL click up to Imperial quite soon. Yes, he does have the resources there to be able to do it. If he clicks up to, yep, there we go, Imperial Age. Viper looks like he could be caught out here. There's a couple of options in the way this can play out at the moment. MBL manages to survive till Imperial, gets all his tech advantage and pushes it home and really just pushes Viper into a bad situation. Viper, staying in Castle Age at the moment, still doesn't have a lot of resource in the bank, so it doesn't look like we're going to see an Imperial from him anytime soon, but stays in Castle, either overwhelms MBL and just gets the GG through that, or we do see Viper pushing in, get defended off by MBL, then really have to find a way to go up to Imperial, starts getting behind in tech, and then MBL really drives home his advantage. That said, we do have the aggressive castle coming down from Viper, so it looks like he really wants to end this one now, getting quiet in there, and light cavalry research going down as well, so going to be able to start getting some eco rating going on as well for some quite cheap units. That said, if he is going for light cavalry, it will delay his Imperial Age even more. Honestly, not sure if Viper knows MBL's clicked up, wouldn't be surprised if he does, just judging by the score differences now, considering he hasn't really done too much in the difference, but the pop differentiation right now, I've got Viper at 173, 113 for MBL, that is a huge difference. We do have the Rams coming in as well, wouldn't be surprised to see MBL actually have trouble holding this one off. But at the same time, if he can, he could potentially win out just on the tech advantage. Moving in, trying to get some harass. Hopefully Viper is focused down here. If he is focused down here, going to be in an okay situation to actually be able to deal with this push. Oh man, this is rough. What are we saying? Knights coming in. Looks like they're going to get lost, but at the same time, Viper all over this raiding party, and here we go. Looks like this is going to get very, very aggressive very quickly. Not sure exactly how MBL is going to defend with this one. He does have a lot of cavalry archers at home. He's throwing up more archery ranges, knows he needs to get his pop-up. Viper pushing in all the way across the map right now. Got all his units down here. Has dealt with most of the push of MBL. However, he still has units tailing that raiding party. Lumber camp going down. That castle going to be great for defending now. And looks like we're seeing a forward siege workshop as well. Those battering rams at the moment, I always say if you've got battering rams on the field, you're really trying to end your opponent. Mangonels are for pushing. Battering rams are for ending. Over here, we do have the cavalry archers pushing forward again. Man, this is actually a really tight game. MBL, what are you doing? Get your cavalry archers in there. You need something to do. There we go. Heavy cavalry archer on the way. Bracer on the way. Looks like he's just holding out to try and get this tech upgrade. If he can get this, he will be in a good scenario here. Will have a little bit of an advantage. He can try and push against the sheer numbers of Viper right now. But at the same time, every second that he's not being able to do anything, Viper's just taking more and more ahead. Viper not having the resources to upstill, but at the moment he just doesn't need it. Imperial Age Town Center coming down to those battering rams. If they get onto these archeries here, not sure exactly what MBL is going to be able to do. Pushing out across here as well, trying to defend this area as best as possible. But that Mangonel really doing a good job over there as well, putting the pressure on. And oh man, does MBL even have... Yes, he's got gold in the back here. He's going to be alright as far as that goes. Heavy cavalry archer was denied. Oh, that hurts. MBL gonna have to wait for Heavy Cavalry Archer to research through again. Viper clicking up to Imperial Age as well. I think this might just about be GG, guys. There's not a lot that we can see from MBL now. He needs to get that Heavy Cavalry Archer upgraded as soon as possible and just come in and slaughter off as much of this army as possible. The Knights running in on the gold. Oh, this is painful to watch now. And then we go over here as well. Cavalry Archers are on top of the lumber camp. I think MBL's gonna have to call in the GG here. Viper's just playing such a strong game. Heavy Cavalry Archer is about to go down, but at the same time, he's just lost too much of his eco at the moment. MBL under 100 pop now. Viper getting close to maxing out at 200. There we go, Heavy Cavalry Archer, and there you go, Parthian Tactics on the way as well. Has lost so many villages at the moment. 20 idle villages for MBL, only 55 there. 34 on, oh man, 34 military at the moment. But at the same time, he just can't keep up with this. Yep, I'm waiting for the GG, guys. I'm sorry to call it, but MBL knows exactly where he's at, and it's not good. It's so many rams moving in for Viper as well. And there's the GG. Look at all the idols at the moment. Fantastic game from Viper overall. MBL doing really, really well too. Only problem being when he clicked up into Imperial, Viper just managed to get such a force up that MBL couldn't hold from it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.